Hi, Deepika here with you this morning. We are midway yet in the series, and I would like to deeply thank Help Library for setting us up for this series too. So, what about you? Are you ready to get off your ledge and face the biggest challenge in your life that can get in the way, which is you? And are you ready to gather your tools of resilience and courage and co-create a different present? Should we see how? If you count the number of times in a day you blame others for creating discomfort in your own life, you will be actually counting the number of times they or someone else is blaming you for the same or a similar effect you are having on their lives. Now, this kind of mirroring of positive and negative thoughts happens all the time, as you know, because we all are simply one consciousness. And in any relationship, even a business one for that matter, two people come together to teach the other the exact same thing they have chosen to learn themselves. Therefore, blaming others for our own misfortunes is like blaming ourselves, an unpalatable result, would you not say? Put another way, you blow your head off at someone and blame them for making you do so. You are actually giving up a chance to befriend your own emotions by deflecting the attention and blame onto the other person. And this is what I term sitting on a ledge or a fence, inappropriately expecting others to change while remaining the same inflexible person you love to be and you are gotten used to be. In fact, you can sit on the ledge for a whole lifetime, your belief systems permitting, avoiding change and clinging to old values. And others may try to push you off your ledge by triggering your defenses, but you may hold on strongly enough, at least until the push from the universe arrives in the form of a natural calamity like the pandemic or anything else that is of huge dimensions, and then even the ledge becomes redundant for you because you just have to get off. So, this time, while staying indoors for months on end, facing so many familial mirrors, we had ample opportunity to see ourselves more visibly in our reactions to these varied triggers. And one of my clients even connected the dots between his current fearful reactions during the COVID 19 lockdown time to losing his freedom during this lockdown period. He connected it to his childhood experiences of having to live with an alcoholic father and obey his orders. Then that made no sense then and much less now. So in childhood, we are allowed free and uninhibited expression, at least until the time we look really cute and cuddly. The minute we start to assert our independence as a toddler, our well meaning caregivers start to govern discipline lest we overrun their authority. And the pain of having to give up our freedom as a young child is less intense than the anger and frustration of having to conform. That's how much humans don't like to conform. And we then become young people pleasers at that young age to retain the affection of our dear family. But we pay a huge price for becoming that. What happens is that we start to live in our shadows, in our own shadows. Any negative emotions we may feel, we smother inside us. They are too immense to handle, and that's the beginning of the end of true expression in one's life until the time we change that experience into something else. By the time we become young adults, we have acquired a new identity from having conformed to the beliefs and standards set for us by our parents, our teachers, and our society. Do you even remember who you really are, who you truly are in this life, who you were born as, and what your soul desires to be as your purpose? Now, if you follow a spiritual path, then yes, you may have no destination apart from becoming one with all. But that's really high thinking. For everyday living, for regular people like you and me, we need a goal, which a lot of people stumble upon way into their life during midlife. And until this time, they are simply sleepwalking and really not taking care to understand anything much more than what they see with their five senses. Why wait until then? Why wait until midlife crisis? When our physical bodies have taken a toll and our brains are really foggy. Why spend three-fourths of a life in a haze, running away from self-acceptance towards external validation from everyone around us? Why do some of us never ever get off that ledge? Now, to accept yourself with all of your perceived flaws, and here I am saying perceived flaws because most of our flaws are that way, they're not real. So to accept yourself, those of you that spend all your childhood and adult life hiding from these, then you have to really jump off the deep end. And in the process, you may lose all the false credibility you have painstakingly built over so many years. And in its place, what you discover is the true purpose of healthy self preservation, which is to live a life of purpose beyond self and for the larger good of everyone else. A suppressed trait, whether positive or negative, denies you your full natural expression, which is your birthright. While a trait expressed in full awareness works really good for the benefit of not just you, but for the benefit of all. Maybe your family, maybe your friends, maybe strangers, anybody who comes in contact with you. Now, in our most painful relationships, and when I say most painful, I'm talking about the most hurtful relationships, we get a chance to review the consequences of having fear-based pretenses. We hide behind these, yes. If you are hiding behind a fear of either being rejected or abandoned or shamed or betrayed or treated unfairly, you are indeed harboring unresolved trauma from your childhood years. And research suggests that rejection can arise at the conception stage as early as that and set the stage for future rejections from family, from friends, from colleagues. Anyone and everyone in your life becomes a potential candidate for rejecting you. As a child, you may have felt emotionally abandoned, say by a sick mother, or materially abandoned by a father who perpetually ran up losses in his business. You could have been shamed for your sexual or gender orientation. Who hasn't had one betrayal at least in one's love life and been heartlessly bruised as a teenager? Sibling rivalry. This too has its place in creating dysfunctional relating habits. With unhealthy parenting, a situation like this with sibling rivalry creates taking of sides by unmindful parents, and an experience of unfairness develops for children. So sitting on a ledge while disguising your true beliefs and intentions is preferred because it feels safe. However, such pretenses can induce continuing internal trauma because any attempted trigger from outside to displace your protection, your facade, adds additional trauma to your existing trauma. So actually, you suffer behind your mask and you make others suffer when they try to get behind your mask to maybe know you better. Our wounds become deeper and therefore the corresponding mask to hide the related pain becomes heavier, a real big load to carry. And if we hang on to this pattern, any pattern, our negative beliefs become even more ingrained within us. We literally cast ourselves in lead like a heavy metal mask. Imagine that. Our wound clearly reflects the type and quality of the mask we wear, and the mask reflects our beliefs. Heavier the mask, more intractable are the beliefs that begin to define and encrust our egos. And that is what the ego likes, and that is what the ego sustains itself on, a false self that regenerates itself via false beliefs. The most difficult task for a lot of people is to recognize, just merely recognize that they are hiding behind a facade. But if they do accept, it becomes easy to reveal the self that is very close resemblance to the innocent, joyous, childlike person that they actually are. I said childlike, not childish. They only stand to gain from this. Why? Because this is a start. It takes courage and effort and commitment to taking your mask off and keeping it off. You can then say that you have finally come off the ledge. I do hope the opportunities for self-acceptance you got this last half year will help you steer clear of adding more camouflages to your personality in the rest of this year. And of course, if you find it overwhelming to do this yourself, invite a friend to sit on your ledge with you. Share your worldview with them. Let them into you inside and to help you transform your worldview for the better. Divesting yourself from your earlier inhibitory style of nurturing and being in relationships is going to be part of your new normal. In case you still wish to hang out with the old social set, in case you do not want to, you will still need to liberate your personal shadow to create something larger than before, larger than yourself, in the current world which has depleted resources. So, thank you for being here this morning. Talking about this definitely helped me to unmask some of my deeper thoughts on how to keep off my crusty ledge. And tomorrow we shall dwell in the areas of our bodies and minds, a topic everyone these days loves to reflect on. So goodbye for now. We'll see you tomorrow.
Help Talks are daily health related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.